Hi everybody, it's Sam here with Thermal Cosplay, and you're going to see my little drink bottle and some other things because I am moving my camera around. This may seem strange. Oh my gosh, what is going on? Well, the reason you're seeing all of this is because, well, I'm about to give you a tour of my workshop today. So I'm going to show all of you, that is my kitty bed. He usually stays there. I had to kick him out. But I usually show you guys the costumes I'm working on or the tools I'm working on. But today I thought it would be fun to go ahead and wander through my crafting room. I'm going to show you what I've done. Like, I've literally put my webcam on this goofy rig so that you can see it here. And then you can just watch the space behind me, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I am going to take all of you on a tour through the craft room today. So I'll be rotating this camera here as I travel through the room and show you guys how I arrange my costuming stuff. So let's go ahead and go on this journey. I'm sorry, I have like terrible camera mission. All right, so we'll start our journey. Oh gosh, doing this backwards is not easy. We'll start our journey over here. Okay, so this right here is where I store a lot of my stuff. We'll just come over here, be like, "Hi guys, I'm on the floor." Hi. So I've got comics here. I love ElfQuest. I have a lot of pretty much the whole ElfQuest collection. And then I've got drawing and language studies and animation. For those of you who don't know, I used to actually be an animation student. I have an animation degree, and I use it for some contract work, but not really anything else. So here from IKEA, this whole organizer is from IKEA, and it's super awesome. I think it's called a Kallax, Kallax. And for cosplayers, having bins and places to put things that you need to organize is great. So like in here, I have all of my spray paint. So if I pull this box out right here, oh gosh, I did not think about this with one hand. But if I pull this box out, inside you're gonna see some masks. I use very specific respirators for my paint, but I've got respirators here for painting. This is just a painting respirator. It's only graded for paint. And then the other respirator in there is for chemicals and particulates. But I have all of my paints in this box. I wanted to put it in a box so that if for some reason one of the cans decided to explode, it would be inside of a box that I could replace for $10 instead of on a shelf. I have had paint cans go bad and weird things happen. So putting your spray paints and sealants inside a box, I highly recommend. So let me like set this down. You guys can see it right here. Put this back away. Don't take your boxes out sideways. But that is, I'd say pretty much all of my materials are here. Here is a wig box. So these are wigs that don't have assigned costumes or wigs that are going to be replacing existing ones that need help because they're old. This is the miscellaneous box. As you can see, my tags are falling off. The one thing with these wicker organizers that I'm going to say for those of you who want to use them, make sure you get something that's like a whiteboard sticky thing, because I'll let you know when I figure out the tag situation, because these tags don't stay on. So I have a whole box of fabrics, a whole box of miscellaneous things like the cause band, a utility box for a bunch of extra rhinestones that I have, and some adhesives that are a bit more caustic that I wanted to put in a safe box. Then I have these little organizers, and this has been like a godsend. These are super useful. I've got bags within bags. There's rhinestones in here along with like sewing, and you'll see these little googly eyes. I use those for rivets. But this is all my sewing stuff. So more, there's fabric glue, there's more rhinestones, and then all of my drawing implements. And down here is a ton of bias. I'm not going to open it all the way because there's so much bias in there that I can barely close this. Apparently, I really like bias tape. I don't know. We're getting it. Oh, hello, Weldon. Then in this organizer right here, I have different paints. So these are studio acrylic paints that my sweet brother acquired for me. And I just kind of stacked them in layers here. So you can just pick up one layer and get a different color. And then these are my folk art and Liquitex paints. I also have some Art and Glow, which is, this is my Strontium Illuminate paint, glows in the dark. And then a bunch of Angelus leather paint. And I also have some Jacquard fabric paint, which is, I have to tell you, for flexible fabric paints, Jacquard and Angelus are the best. But you can also use Deco Art, Apple and Barrel, Folk Art, and you can mix them with my acrylic textile medium, which I have one of those too. And in the bottom drawer, I have a textile medium that I use when I want to paint regular paints onto just about anything else. And then I also have some tacky glue that I can mix paints with and put onto fabric. And then in here, these are my very, very high-end Reeves paints, along with some sponge brushes and regular brushes. So that is like tool central for me. Paints, sewing, fabric, wigs, spray paint, respirators, magnets, you know, kind of all the knickknacks that you need for cosplay, but you're not sure where to put them. That's a great place to go. So we're just gonna travel over here back to the computer real fast. Hi, Star! Miss you too! Oh my gosh, hello! I am hoping that I'll have my second vaccination. Oh gosh. Can you guys hear me? I think you can hear me. Yeah. So I will have my second vaccination. When will I have that? On the 25th. And then I'm hoping by some miracle I can make it to Seattle in December. We'll see. Anyways, this is my computer desk. This is where all of you meet me. Got a ring light. I have some art from Annabelle Amos art up here that I donated to different game groups to get. I freaking love it. Annabelle, you're amazing. Then just a little organizer with, you know, charging stations, my microphone. So this is where all the magic happens when we're streaming. And then underneath is where I store a bunch of costumes. Yay, good, because I'm trying to be very loud right now. I know I'm quiet. So here I've got a bunch of costumes stored underneath my desk. These are costumes that fold up easily. They're easy to either steam or iron. Stuff that I can work with, pretty simple. This is literally something that I got from Walmart for like 20 bucks. It's not perfect. You don't want to put super heavy stuff in it. As you can see on the right, it's bowing a little bit because the costume that's in there for Doctor Who and a cheerleader that I got from the cosplay company, all of the stuff in there is pretty heavy. But I've got, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The unmarked box is Ahsoka Tano. I have 9 costumes stored in here, along with some miscellaneous things that I'll be putting together. So you can definitely store your costumes in hidden places, like this little tiny under desk storage, where it's like, oh, look, there's a computer, and there's cosplay. So there are lots of different ways to store your costumes, and I can pull out one of these bins if you guys would like to look at it. So I'll just take this one out. But in here, I have most of the costumes in bags. Some of them, like Deku's bodysuit, is a little bit easier for me to keep outside of the bag. And then I've got the wigs, and I just kind of have it stacked very gently and gingerly in here. I try not to overfill my costume bins, just because I don't want my bins to lose shape, and I also don't want to damage my costumes. So let me set the camera down for a second. You're just gonna look at my Gatorade and my kitty cat bed, and me shoving this back underneath. There we go. But that's like a great way for individuals who are like trying to conserve on space. Getting these little things that fit underneath your desk, that you still have room for your legs. So like my legs still have room underneath here, right? I still have room for my legs, and I've got room for my costumes, and that is incredibly useful. especially with someone like me who just keeps making costumes and keeps running out of space. So there's a good way to do it. That's boring. It's just a garbage can. But, you know, I guess we all need those. Garbage cans are important, right? Okay. Anyways, moving on. This is the full room. So we'll start with the door. And then we've already shown you the organizer here and some decorative stuff on top, because why not? And then this is the full room. So here's where we're starting. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about some other storage solutions. Your biggest challenge with storage. So Star says that her biggest challenge with storage is the props you make. Yeah, so props are definitely something. I actually am about to show you this. I had a decision. I could either have a prop wall or I could have a mirror wall. I chose a mirror wall just because this mirror is freaking awesome. It's from IKEA. It was $112. It came with all the stuff needed to install it. And then I, in order to keep it, I actually had to buy a 6.5-inch long door stopper so that I wouldn't crack open my mirror. But there's my mirror. There's another thing too. What some people can do is, you see these wall storage solutions. I've seen some people take and underneath here put just grating on the wall and then zip tie props to it. So I wonder if you could do something like that, where you could use a shelf and then you could use some of the secure, the harnesses that are here. I'm forgetting the word. The metal stuff, my brain's tired. And you could put grating underneath, and like what Kamui does, you could zip tie props underneath there. So that might work for you. But yeah, no, I agree. Small spaces, it's really tough. So that is another thing that I do too, is since my space is small for the amount of things that I have, I actually have little bins that I store things in here. And these are working drawers, and I put cards and convention stuff in here. And then all of my patterns are in that one. And that's also my like stuffed animal wall. Hi, stuffed animals. You guys want to say hi to my stuffed animals? Here you go. Yeah, that's the stuffed animal wall. The most important stuffed animal is right here. That's Gustavo, the octopus. He's awesome. But another thing too, for individuals who have props that are really large, I also recommend under couch storage. So I have a rig. I have this little couch. So behind the couch, you're going to see some metal rods. I don't know if you can see that. But behind the couch are metal rods. And this is actually where I store more costumes. And I actually also store my photo rig. So underneath this couch is literally a little tiny love seat. Seats maybe 2 people. But underneath it, I have travel storage. And this is actually a traveling closet. My rug is going to get moved. And I'll open the traveling closet in a second. But underneath here, you see those? That is more of my home studio. So you could also do the same thing for props. You could put the home studio, or you could put your props underneath the couch if you have one large enough. And if you're worried about it getting damaged with someone sitting on it, I would suggest investing in a hard case that you can put. They have hard cases for like gaffers and movies and production that are pretty inexpensive. And you could use the hard case to store your props in there and then slide them underneath the couch. That might be an option. But this is currently where I'm storing my bigger costumes. So costumes that have all soft elements. So stuff like I've got Tamatoa in here. I have my Borderlands 3 costume in here. I have my Violet Evergarden in here. I have my Nadia Saturnava in here. I've got my Fuko Oji in here. I've got, let's see here, 1, 2, I think I've got 6 costumes in this little storage thing. And these costumes, when put in a closet, take up a ton of space because they're super fluffy. But because they're primarily fabric and foam, which is easy to condense, I can just go ahead and right here, put them in some garment bags to keep them safe, just in case they get, like something happens to my couch, like, you know, my cat gets trapped in my room and he urinates all over my couch. Real story, actually happened. Use an enzyme cleaner. We're all good now. But real story, actually happened. Learned my lesson. All my costumes go in bags or go away now. So this just kind of gets shoved right underneath here. And then it's out of the way and it's super nice. So that's also another solution. You're probably wondering why I even have a rug on this floor. My dog likes to sleep in my room. Otherwise, I would not have a rug on my floor. But this is literally my dog's rug. Not my rug, it's for my dog. When you're crafting, you must think of animals. I'm going to take a little break, come over here, and answer you guys' questions. So, let me turn this way. And come back. Okay. I just realized you guys can't hear me. My audio cut out. Sorry. Anyways, I was saying that I'm setting this up because I wanted some way when I get to 50 costumes that I would be good. My audio is being wonky. So audio's back. I'll give it a second. I'll give it a second to catch up. I'm going to drink. Okay. Did the audio come back for you guys? It should be back. So there's a 30-second delay, just so you know. Okay. So far, we've entered the room and we've seen the storage that I have underneath here. Let me move this camera. Okay, so we've entered the room and we've seen the storage underneath the desk and my little computer. Not little, let's be honest, I have a beast. Some side storage, super important. This storage, I mean, you can look inside there. Super useful. I have to tell you, these are like the best thing I ever invested in. I mean, if you don't have space on the ground, wall storage. And honestly, they have some of these mirrors that you can store stuff behind too. So I highly suggest that as well. And then this is where I store all of my, patterns. Anyways, I haven't gotten to the closet yet because I don't want to scare you guys yet. Underneath this one is nothing, just because I do a lot of my like heating and hot gluing and stuff by this desk, and so I didn't want to put anything under this desk in case glue fell or paint fell or something fell. And yeah, I'd rather wipe down a desk than a bunch of clothing. Now, one of the cool storage things I got, I love this thing. You can get this from IKEA. It looks pretty boring, but you just lift it up and over, and I store all of my sewing notions in here. All of them. And then in here, there's more scissors. There's scissors here. I've got clips. I've got all of my sewing feet and attachments, pins, elastic, and then machine oil is in there too. This thing has been a space saver for me because it used to be when I was sewing, I'd have my sewing notions all over my desk. Now it's just in this. If you guys have any questions on any of the storage I have, I can definitely post links. And I also, one super important thing that I got recently from IKEA were these cutting boards. They sell them at IKEA for like $1.49 for two, and I use them for painting and cutting. And I like that they're not as big as some of the other cutting boards are, and they're not as hefty, but they're still just as durable, and stuff works on them. So they also can withstand heat. So cool, experimenting with that. Sorry, I still have some stuff I need to put away, but this is where I store all of my like my power tools and my shoes. So inside this little box in here are piles and piles of cosplay shoes that I've wrapped up into specific little colors. So these are all my jellies. These are all my schoolgirl shoes. And then in here, these are all of my boots. And then same thing in there. Those are like my really weird specialty color ones. And for any shoes I can't fit in there, Draculara. Draculara is over here. She's relegated to the back because her shoes are weird. And I can't shrink them. I don't know what's going to happen if I ever travel with her. Then there's my mannequin. Her name's Lily. Say hi to Lily. I used to have a mannequin named Diane. Diane was donated to a friend. And this is Lily. And next to Lily is probably the creepiest wig head I've ever owned, but it's also the most useful because it's almost exactly my face if I had really large. Okay, I already have large eyes, but if I had larger eyes and a larger mouth, this would basically be me. Like, everything else is the same except for her eyes being more wide set and large and her mouth being larger. Okay, so we've kind of gone through shoe storage and costume storage and more costume storage and then material storage. So let me see if you guys have any questions. And ask. Okay, I'm gonna take a break for a second, answer some questions, talk to you guys. Let's see here. Yeah, so my closet is a master game of Tetris, and I just changed it even more. So, oh my gosh. Yeah, that's the thing. Anytime you do cosplay or live action role play or any of that, you're gonna have to figure out a storage solution. It's oh, Wig Storage. Okay, I didn't actually open the box, did I? So let me go get the box. Oh gosh, I forgot how heavy this was. I'm sorry. Oh goodness gracious, this is heavy. Okay, so this is the wig storage. And all of my wigs have netting on them, or they've been braided, and they're all in bags. Except for one. This one's not in a bag, because I threw it in here in a hurry the other day, and I forgot about it. But it has a bag. This is its bag. So it needs to go back in its bag. I actually need to braid it. A lot of my wigs, what I do, if they're shorter, I put them inside a nice Ziploc baggie. And some of them, like the blonde wigs, tend to have more issues of flyaways, so I put nets over them. But other ones, I don't have any problems with that. This one has a net over it too. But they're all in bags. They're all taken care of very, very well. I clean them very regularly. And I tend to restyle my wigs every time I wear them, just because I have very sensitive scalp. And so there's a lot of things that I can't put on my skin that other people can. So unfortunately, I'm sort of left with very few options when it comes to permanent wig styling. Now, a lot of the people I do know of will take a box this size, and they'll take one of my little, like they'll take a mannequin head, or I'll show you, we'll start with the closet. They'll take one of these mannequin heads, and they'll put it in this box, standing up, if it's a wig that's permanently styled. And you can fit about, with the size of this box, you can fit 2 wigs, like 1 and 2, if you have a wig that's permanently styled, put it in there, keep it safe. You could also, for wig storage, mount something to the wall. Like I've got my wall mounted here. You could mount something to the wall there, and then you could have wig heads hung from like PVC pipe. So I've seen that. And that tends to work pretty well for most of the friends that I know as well. So, the Okay, so thank you for the question though, Sean. That's kind of what my wig storage is all bags and braids, and then I restyle every time. But there are people who have really complicated styles, so I would suggest get some styrofoam wig heads, put the wig on it, put a net over it, and then just store it upright in one of these larger boxes from IKEA. But yes, Star, the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow, it's African or European. Anyways, so I've already spent 25 minutes just talking about the storage in the room. We haven't even gotten to the closet, guys. So let's get to the closet because that's probably where most of my cosplay stuff is. So hi and bye. All right, we're traveling again. So from the other side of the room, I enter from there, stream there, storage there. There's the box I was mentioning. And this is the closet. This is where I just bought this recently. This is where I've been storing all of my event tags. I combined them and got rid of some of the cheapo ones of these that I didn't like. And then I kept a few just in case for spares. But convention badges and then some of my favorite art. I need to fill 2 little spaces. I'll figure it out. I have art somewhere. Anyways. Oh, and these are just convention bags. So these are just when I go to cons and we have to go to like panels, we usually have to carry a bunch of stuff. So I always have a couple canvas bags just available just in case. All right. Let me move my laptop bag. I do work in this office. I work from home. So that is the Tagruta headpiece I'm currently working on. I will be storing it in another place, but for now, while it's still being worked on, it's a work in progress, it stays there. Those are my college degrees. I don't know why I put them in my cosplay room, but ask me, it's fine. So this for now is just some miscellaneous stuff because I'm working on a different storage solution. As you can see, we've taken down some things. I'll be putting different storage here soon. I have to do this in steps, it costs money. But up top are where my caustic materials are. So resins, airbrush solutions, mold release, wax clay, an air compressor, you know. And then I also keep my small props up here. So things that are easy to settle, things that are easy to clean if something went wrong, just all up there. My larger props are right here. So they are kept, because I thankfully got rid of all, well, I have one prop taller than me that's in a separate room. But I store them in this little corner, and what I plan on doing is I plan on getting a string from this wall to this wall and just kind of like strapping them into the wall. That's my goal eventually. I'll get there. All right. So I've made plenty of room for me to hang up costumes. I only have 2 costumes hung up right now. It's because one of them's on a mannequin. But I have costume storage for hanging, and then I have like my event bags for when I travel down below. Then I have these costumes. These are my KDA Ari costumes, and since they were so much trouble to make and or fix, I keep them very secure in a garment bag. Same thing with this one that has feathers. But these are my costumes that are easy to just fold up, and then I have a work in progress bin, another work in progress bin, and then I have my Disney costumes in this bin. So the bottom bin is scrap foam and Warbler. The middle bin is all of my large armor pieces and leather armor pieces. So Kratos, my Amazon, my Demon Hunter are all in here. And then my scrap Warbler and foam. And then these are the work in progress bins. Then over here, I've got foam, more foam, more foam, foam dowels, foam scales, all in this bag. So this whole bag is full of dowels and scales. This is I just painted, so ignore my little painting thing. And then I have rolls from the Cosplay Pros of 2mm, 3mm. Back there I have LED foam, and then I have 6mm foam along with some Warbler, and then some insulation foam and a canvas. And then I also have some iron-on decals here. I like to use a level and a metal yardstick. My metal yardstick is hiding behind my mannequin because it's really big. But this is where I store all of my foam. Then I have all of my sculpting tools and cutting tools and sandpapers here. So different sandpapers. And then I have 2 different canvas heads. I've got some epoxy sculpt and foam clay stored in this region right here. Then if you go down in here, these are all adhesives on this side, and this is all clay and like casting materials. So like when I made my tamatoa, this is one that didn't turn out so well. The resin still hasn't cured. I'm keeping it backed with some Cosbond so I can show it as an example of what happens when resin doesn't cure all the way because you mix it wrong. But these are molds that I've made myself. And then I also have some molds that I've purchased in here, along with safety goggles. So, and tape. And then here, this precious drawer is the boob drawer. Some boobs there, two stacks of drag queen boobs here, and then a steamer, because why not? That's the boob drawer. The bottom drawer is my work in progress drawer. So this might look familiar. And then I also keep pieces of Sintra, just little small pieces of Sintra. It's good for reinforcing armor. And then I have 4 pieces of cardboard that I use to spray paint on in my backyard. So I don't have to have a tarp. But this is the closet. So I'm going to come back to you guys. Yeah, I can close my door one-handed. I did it! Yay! Close the door one-handed. That was like tricky. And yeah, I mean, we've gone through a lot of the storage stuff, so I guess I can start answering questions too. So I'm put this down. Just, yeah. So yeah, that's the thing too, is not everybody is going to have the amount of room that I have. I know that I'm pretty lucky and I have more room than most people. I still work really hard for my room and stuff, but let me switch. I'm going to switch stuff real fast here. Because I want to talk through my other microphone. All right, you guys should be able to hear me now on this microphone. Yay. Hello, I'm back. I've returned. The camera being here, it keeps like weirding me out. I'm not used to it being here. Hi. Give me 1 second. Okay. So, it's only here for today because I'm going to be doing another crafting session with some friends afterwards. So, I almost knocked over my ring light. That would have been really bad. Anyways, I guess I could just move it back over here. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me just move this back. Freedom. Why is it so high up? Why are you doing this? I figured it out. Okay, apparently I'm not allowed to see you guys at all. I swear, I will figure this out. You will be nice. Okay. So, note to self, switching cameras in the middle of the stream is not easy. Okay, so I'm back. We did a tour. So, yeah, I do have Cosplay Awards. I've only got one. Actually, I have 2 Cosplay Awards, and they're actually right there behind my Leafeon and my Poison Apple. One of them's for Tucson Comic Con, and one of them TayuCon, I think. Yeah. So I do have my awards there, but most of the awards that I've received have been paper awards. So they actually go in the little organizer here to the right, just because it's a little odd to have them on the walls when they're not protected in anything. So 1 second. Okay. Okay. But yeah, I do keep my awards nearby. But I'm gonna open up a video because we've already done the tour. Now, if you do have questions about storage, we have done the tour, but we still have about 20 minutes left. So, well, 25 minutes. I didn't think it was gonna take an hour just because I was like, it's just one room. It's kind of hard to turn one room into an hour. Yeah, so with costume and cosplay awards, I've also gotten some online. So I also have like awards through places like Instructables, where it's not like a physical award. So I just kind of like keep that posted on my Instructables page, right? And that's the thing too I was going to show you guys. So organizing your cosplay isn't just it's not just a room that you're in too. A lot of costuming requires planning, right? So you have to think about like when you're organizing. So we've gone through the craft room. You've seen my physical organization, but there's also a digital organization involved. And for that, I use an app called Cosplanner. I will actually just go ahead and open it up on my phone and show you guys what it looks like. So let me go to Cosplanner. Where is it? Gotta love when stuff just disappears off of your phone. And it just disappeared off my phone. So I switched phones not too long ago, and I think it just was like, bye. Okay. There we go. So I'm going to install it real fast and then just show you guys what it looks like. But I also have to, for cosplay, you've got a physical space that you have to organize. You have to think about your tools, your materials. A lot of cosplays use foam, and foam takes up a lot of space. So you have to think about, putting it to rolls, maybe storing it underneath beds or couches or desks. But outside of the physical aspect of storing and taking care of a crafting room, which also seconds is my office. This is where I work every day. So that's why I try to keep it very clean. But outside of that, you're also going to think about how do you want to do your costumes. So there's this app that I have on my phone called Cosplanner, and I will show you. Okay. It's just this little tiny app right here, like right there. And then inside the app it tells you, welcome to Cosplanner, because apparently I lost mine. And you can add a new character, and you can start filling out dates and tasks and what you want to do. You can do whether or not it's in process or if it's planned. You can tell what series it's from, its due date. It's awesome. So Cosplanner is super useful. They also have a website. So I'll open the website so you guys can see that and then share that. So this is the Cosplanner website too, right? And this is another great way to organize your stuff. I'll show you what Cosplanner looks like so you can see individuals who have used it. So this is kind of what it does when you've got a list of costumes, shows you all of those lists of costumes. And then what you do from there is you set up, what you need for that costume. If you need wig or fabric, you set up tasks and you can mark them as complete. You can mark how much it'll cost. You can track budget, progress, everything. I think the free version allows you to track up to 10 costumes, and then the paid version is unlimited. So if you need to organize your cosplay plans, Cosplanner is a really good way to go. You can also organize through like Google and stuff like that. So, by the way, this is also, since we've done the room tour, it's done, it's finished. This is an open question and answer session. So if you have any questions or anything burning on your mind, please let me know. I will answer them right now. In the interim, I'm just going to keep talking and sharing things with you guys. As far as costumes go, I am still working on Mando Merida. I just kind of got stuck on one part of it that I've been struggling with. I've been having a problem with the chest part lining up properly. And I think I figured out what it is. So I actually have ordered a product that will be here on Tuesday that will hopefully solve it for me. And then I can finally paint the chest piece and finish putting everything together. But I am in the interim working on 2 different costumes. Next week, I will have a face cowl put on one of my mannequin heads. And I will be making, this is the one costume I've been waiting to make for some time, but I didn't have the skill yet. So you guys are going to see me work on this live quite regularly starting the end of this month. But I am working on Nyreen Kandros from Mass Effect. So let me show you what next week will be me experimenting with foam clay to see if I can turn it into a mask. So that's kind of what I really want to do, is I want to take this face and I want to use balaclava or some kind of ski mask thing, something where I can zip myself out or use Velcro to get myself out of it. And I'll build in magnets and snaps and basically snap on, like it'll be the cheeks, it'll be the side, the mouth is just going to be my mouth and chin. From here down will be myself, be painted. But I'll have plates on the side, plates underneath my eyes, and plates on my brow. And then the rest will be like foam clay that's been painted. And then I plan to either install Velcro or a zipper in the back to get her head, because they have like this kind of, Turians have this texture on the back of their head. And so I figured what I could do is I could add a zipper in the back and then put that bone plating, would just be a piece of foam clay that's dried that I snap into place with magnets or snaps. So I literally zip myself in and out of this head and don't have to do very much painting. I only have to paint like right here, because the rest of it would be clothing. We'll see if this works. I mean, that would be amazing if it worked. I would be super happy, but it's definitely going to be tricky. So I wanted to start with the headpiece for this one first. And then the clothing is actually really simple. Like it's just a pair of like copper leggings that have had muscles painted onto them. And then a pair of like a copper undershirt with some pleather overlays. And then the armor itself won't be too difficult because she really only wears armor on her knees, her feet, her hands, and her just chest. Everything else is leather and fabric. So I plan on having this done by the end of summer. I'm giving myself a lot more time than I have before because I know this is going to be a beast to make. And I've never made a carapace before, which is her back armor. So we'll see what happens. Yeah. It's crazy. I don't know, guys. I'm scared. Anyways, Nyreen out of the way. We've only got about 15 minutes left. So I was looking through, I'll show you guys how I do my my storage for my digital storage for cosplay. So we've talked about physical storage and we've talked about planning with the Cosplanner app. So let me show you guys what I do for photos and events. So this is my, let me see. Let me make sure it's sharing. Okay, cool. It is sharing. So, oh, no, wait. No, is it sharing? Now it's sharing. Okay, good. Cool. So the thing with these is I've got it by commissions, completed cosplays, conventions and photo shoots, cosplay books. I have a bunch of cosplay books that I've purchased over time. Filmsmiths from Bill Durant to Kamui Cosplay to Kinpatsu to her closet, Hero's closet. I mean, just lots. I think Evil Ted stuff in there somewhere. Then I have lists of costumes I would like to make one day, which these are old. I need to update these. I haven't even looked at these folders in who knows how long. And then I have some projects and miscellaneous stuff, some tutorials. I've made Raven stuff before. So those are pretty popular. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but is this? Yeah. So I organize all of my tutorials separately as well. Do a lot of organizing. Yes. Lawrence has made 6 himself. He helps with the costume process. Lawrence is a very big help for when I lose my mind and I think I can't get a costume done. He just comes in and he's like, all right, what's bothering you? And I'm like, this is what's bothering me. And he's like, okay, what's the smallest piece you can complete? And that's one thing I'm going to say. If your craft room is a wreck and you have stuff everywhere and you're freaking out because you have some kind of self-imposed deadline, then just talk to somebody or your partner and just sit down and go like, what's the smallest piece that you can complete so you have some satisfaction? Because when everything's going wrong, you just need something to be finished. And yeah, he's definitely helped with that. Having someone to bounce ideas off of really works too. Also, if you're trying to organize a crafting space that, be it big or small, doing a Pinterest board or having a board or a reference to like, even going to an IKEA and walking around and seeing how they fit all that storage into a small space is super useful because sometimes people can't visualize it in their head or they can't do it on paper. So going to a space, just, put a mask on, be safe, try to stay distanced, but sometimes you have to see that physical space and that's okay. Just make sure that you're really, when you're doing a crafting room, think about like how are you? Are you one of those people that tends to be more organized? Do you label everything? Like I organize and label everything. I have Google Sheets telling me where everything's located. Or are you someone who puts stuff away and forgets about it? If you're someone who puts stuff away and forgets about it, maybe you have a whiteboard in your room that you like, bin number 2 is this costume and bin 3 is this, or maybe you have it where you open the bin and everything else has like, it's just Ziploc baggies with Sharpie written on it. It could be that cheap solution to just a Sharpie and a Ziploc baggie could be your storage solution for a crafting room. But just think about yourself first before you start building your craft room or before you start working out the space that you've been allotted. Like if you don't have a room, you're kind of in someone's corner in the house, what can you do? There's some really cool things. They're very expensive, but there's fold up craft spaces. I'm gonna pull this up. Craft room. I think it's called like the fold up craft room or something like that. But I think it's called the create room. Is it the create room? So these are like ridiculously expensive, but if you're one of those people who literally can only, like, you have to fold up into a closet, right? You have to fold your space back up into a closet. This may be a really good option for you. And they have different sizes, so like they're not all, I think the largest one's $2,000, but they have different sizes of these. And these craft rooms are really cool. So they open up, they have a table built into them. You can get ones that are smaller than this, ones that are larger. You get to customize it yourself. So for anyone who's like, say in like the East Coast or West Coast, living in a small space, or you're sharing a room with roommates, this might be the best option for you, having something that folds up into just a wardrobe size space that you can fold out and fold back in when you're working or not working. And they have ones that are like I said, some are really large, some are really small. It just depends on what you need. Let's see here. And I'm not like, I am not at all sponsored by these. I just always thought they were amazing. And I always thought like, if I ever ran into a problem where like I needed something, they have the Dream Box, they have the Dream, they pop-up stations too. So like, everything folds down into this little box and then it folds out into a table and storage unit. So they also have that. And then they have, I think it's like okay, why are you doing this? A sewing station. So they have another one too, where all of the electronics are built into it and it breaks down into like this little tiny sewing space that you can craft on. So and I mean, they're tiny. They're just like little storage areas that you can break out. So maybe something like Create Room would work for you if you have a really small space. Hello, Night Venom. I don't have a donate button for the stream. I've actually never had anybody ask me to donate, mostly because I just do this out of the goodness of my heart and just educate people on things. But if you would like to donate, I'll share with you where you can do that at. You just go to thermocosplay.com. I'll show everybody this in case in the future you are interested. So just go to thermocosplay.com and literally scroll down to the bottom and scan this QR code. Then you will be able to donate to me right away. I appreciate donations. I will let you guys know that typically my donations go directly to a charity. If I receive money, 95% of the time it's going to a charity in my area, or it's going to some kind of a global charity to help individuals during the pandemic. So most of the time I raise money for others rather than for myself. It's just letting everyone know that. But since we're here, this is my website, thermocosplay.com. If you'd like to see me, you can come here. I do have my portfolio. There are there's existing costumes in here, so you can see what I actually do have, what I can wear, what is available. And then there's some at the bottom that are up and coming, so they only have the character pictures because I haven't done photos of them yet. So you will be seeing more costumes from me this year as I start getting my butt off of the ground and back into the rhythm of things. My day job's been very busy lately, and I've had a lot going on in my personal life. So it just took me a little bit to get back into the groove of things. But yes, anything that has a picture means it's upcoming. Anything with me in it means I already own it. I also have photos of my cosplay partner, Lena, who is my sister from another mister, basically my really, really close friend. We've known each other since 5th grade, and we are basically sisters. And we cosplay together pretty much any event. So her list might need to be updated. I know that she's made some changes to her closet, but you can also look at past costumes that we've done and other things too. I also have a list of tutorials on this website for those interested. I have build walkthroughs. I need to add one more. I have a build walkthrough in here that I forgot to add. And then I also have tutorials, tips and tricks, different materials, and how to use them. And if you have a tutorial that you'd like to see me write, or you've seen me do something that I haven't produced a tutorial on, please let me know, and I will look into seeing how I can do that. So we are getting close to the end of the stream. If you do have questions, please ask them now. There is a 30-second delay, so unfortunately, that is what I have working on. We did tour the craft room. We talked about, the storage. There's a missing box because I showed everybody how I store my wigs. I've got costumes under my desk, under my couch, in my closet, stored every which way. I will tell you the best thing, a very useful thing for a cosplayer, if you're trying to work in a space that's small or you just want to keep your space very clean and tidy. Garment bags are incredibly useful. They also sell garment bags that you can vacuum seal. Why can't I say that? So I would highly suggest that. But while we're sitting here at the last 5-ish minutes, would you guys like to see a video? And if you would, post whether you want to see a tutorial that I've made or if you want to see an event video, because I just went into my cosplay organization folder and found a whole bunch of videos from events and tutorials. So I can play a tutorial the last 5 minutes and allow you guys to post your questions. And thank you again for joining me for the stream, wherein we toured my craft room. Again, if you have questions or you want me to post links, please do that. Here, I'll post. I think we've had a donate request. Here is the Night Venom. Let me post the donate button so you can see it. There you go. So if you would like to donate to Thermo Cosplay, There it is. I've posted it in the chat, so it should appear on all platforms. It should see, I'm using a streaming service, so you should see YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook have a comment appear with a donate button. Okay, Facebook's failed. So not Facebook. Facebook does this all the time to me. It hates me. It really does. Why do you hate me, Facebook? Okay, now Facebook worked. Oh, and I posted it twice. Okay, Facebook. All right. Well, since we're like coming to the end of the stream, I'm just going to play a really fun video for you guys. Let me open this up. This is me making Raven's accessories from Teen Titans. And, okay, or it's not letting me. Why is it so big? There we go. It would be great if it let me share. Yeah, there we go. Sometimes applications fight you. Okay, so this was me making the Teen Titans Raven stuff. All right. Oh, this is old video. It's a long time ago. So what I have is that particular thing is it's a candy mold. It's a silicone candy mold. It can handle heat pretty well. And I've wiped it down and I used just like a duster to make sure there was no dust inside of it. And then I used the amazing clear cast resin. And I mixed it with red dye. And also I used, nail polish. So you can see adds a little bit of sparkle. Later on, I changed how I do my my gems. Now I actually back it with paper or with nail polish to make it look nicer. So this is when I first started cosplaying, and it was learning how to cast things. So to create Raven's gems, I used that candy mold, and then I also used what's called a flowering cup. I backed the flowering cup with duct tape, and then I went ahead like the top of it so that there's a little tiny hole in a flowering cup so you can poke the baking flour out. I plugged up that hole, and then I poured just normal resin, white resin, into the back of the mold after I had added a mold release so I could create a setting. So I'll show you guys what that looks like here. So that white part is the reverse side of a flowering cup. And I made sure to leave a little bit of a hole there so that I could glue with epoxy the gem to the actual setting. And then here, what I did is I acquired a gold belt, and while the resin sets, I dip the gold belt into it so that I don't have to glue it onto the metal, because metal and resin don't always agree with one another. So after it's done waiting, here, I'll show you. Hang on over here. Wait a little bit, and then there you go. Now it's permanently attached to the gold belt. So if you look on the back side of it, when I flip it over, you can see the ring is inside. I'll show you in a moment. Oh, why are you being stubborn? There you go. And this is early on. I have learned how to cast resin better. There aren't any leftover little dings and stuff like that. But I know a lot of people want Raven belt with like 3D effects, and this is how I created it. So there you go. That's how I created a Raven belt. Again, thank you for joining me for the stream today. It's been wonderful. I do have about 3 minutes left. So what I'm going to do is talk to you guys about Costalk Live, which is another streaming thing that I do once a week. Costalk Live is on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. It's a cosplay talk show. We've had Yaya Han, Dust Bunny, Midnight Persona. We've had a lot of people on the show to talk about cosplay. And tomorrow we're going to have Amber Bright Props and Ki-Chan cosplay, and we're going to just be doing an open Q&A session and talk about how we got started in cosplay, how the community has changed over the years, how cosplay going mainstream has either positively or negatively impacted our experience, and then kind of go through a list of questions that we've already got from some of our fans about how we handle cosplay day in and day out. So if you do have questions, just visit costalklive.com and you can actually check out what we're going to be doing there. Again, thank you for joining me today. What I'm going to do is I'll just go ahead and show you guys my craft room one more time while we're wrapping up. Oh, okay, my phone is just fighting me today. It's fine, I guess. I'll get there. I swear it'll happen. Or not. Let's see here. Let's set the mic and audio. Okay. So. Here is the room one more time. That's it. That's my crafting space. That's how I store everything. The shoes are hidden once again by the mannequin. So that's, if you're wondering where to store cosplay shoes, get a little tiny cube organizer and find ways to wrap up your shoes. And like I kind of put them inside each other. They also have shoe bags. So you could just put the shoes in bags and then just keep stacking them inside of a cube box. And then you don't have to worry about having shoes everywhere because cosplay shoes like to take up space. So thank you all again for joining me. I will see you tomorrow on Cos Talk Live at 12 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And next week, I will see you live at 12 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and we'll be sculpting with foam clay. So see you around. Bye, guys.